I want to bring in Alan Turkheimer, a jury consultant. Christy Greenberg and Andrew Weissman are still with us. Also joining us at the table, Diane Kiesel, a retired New York State criminal term judge. I have to tell you, it was something to see, Judge, the way that they looked at him. You could almost feel the admiration, the respect, the attention that they paid him is a sign of that respect, right? One New York Times reporter talked to somebody from the DA's office. They say this judge recognizes that what they're doing is a lot to take in. How important is this, as they're going into the most important phase of this trial, that they trust the judge, but he also really is aware of what they need?
It is so important for judges to respect the time and attention of a jury. And a judge who cares about his jury will get that love back. I don't know how else to say it. You have to, for example, they're sitting there 4 hours a day in the morning listening to testimony. It's important every 50 minutes or so. Hey, jurors, any of you need a break? Are you doing okay? From everything I've heard, Judge Merchan is somebody who pays attention to the little comforts, and they respect him and they like him and they know what he needs. He needs a verdict. Doesn't matter what the verdict is, but he needs a verdict, and I think they're going to work to give him one. Yeah, so in the inverse, not just the judge, but also, Alan, obviously the jury. How important is this relationship that virtually everyone who's been inside that courtroom has observed?
Sure. Judges are proponents of juries and vice versa. Juries are proponents of judges. The judge makes it really comfortable, tries to make the task easier and more manageable for the jury. It's a tough thing to ask jurors to do. They're asked to look at all this evidence, witness testimony. There's one side saying one thing, another side trying to characterize things as something else, and they're paid $40 a day, I believe. That doesn't go too far in Manhattan. And so there's a lot for them to process. And so they look to the judge for guidance. The judge gives them the guidance they want. And when it comes to deliberation, if they have something come up, if they have a need, if they have a question, they can rely on the judge. And I've asked jurors over the years, in 24 years of doing this, sometimes lawyers want to know from juries after they've rendered a verdict whether or not they thought the judge was aligned with one side or the other. I've never heard a juror say that. They've always said that the judge is fair, down the middle, objective. And so really, the judge is a champion of the jury.
Yeah, it was interesting yesterday, Andrew. Merchan noted in the jury instructions, nothing I have said in the course of this trial was meant to suggest that I have an opinion about this case. If you have formed an impression that I have an opinion, you must put it out of your mind and disregard. The level of my voice or intonation may vary during these instructions. If I do that, it is done to help you understand. It is not done to communicate any opinion about the law or facts of the case. This is a judge, and the jurors hopefully don't know this, who has been under attack on the outside from people within Trump's sphere and Donald Trump himself. Why, though, is it important for him to have made that point?
Well, he's clearly being dispassionate. And what's remarkable is you would not know when you go into that courtroom in any way what is happening to him, to his family. And I really think the discussion you're having, it's really important to pull the lens back in terms of the attacks on the judicial system. No one knows right now what the verdict will be, but everybody who's been in that courtroom knows that this has been a fair trial. And the reason that's important is there is no television there. There is no audio there. It is the court system now is under severe attack by Donald Trump. It is just like the media, the sort of fake news attack when it's being held to account, the Department of Justice when it brings charges, the state prosecutors when they bring charges. It is really important for people to know that this is a fair process. And it's best to say it now when you don't know what the verdict is. And Judge Merchan and what he has had to put up with, it's remarkable that you would have no idea. He has ruled for the defense. He has ruled for the government in completely dispassionate ways.
How does he do it, Judge? I mean, I completely agree with everything that you've said.
I agree, too. Look, it is very difficult. You're a human being. You have opinions, but you have got to. That's part of the challenge of being a judge. I don't have the greatest poker face in the world, but I made sure I engaged in no expression whatsoever when I was speaking to jurors. And just in case you have raised your eyes at the wrong time, and believe me, they watch you, they see everything. That is a line that almost all of us give. It's standard part of the jury instructions. We have no opinion on this case. If you think we have, we don't. It's important. Andrew speaks to this so important. It's so important. The justice system is under attack by this man, no matter what happens. Every day he comes out there and says, the judge is unfair, the judge is corrupt, the judge is conflicted, and it's so wrong.
And it's clear that this jury would not believe a word of it, even if they heard it. So that is important right now, again, as we're heading into 8 hours of deliberation. Diane Kiesel, Alan Turkheimer, Christy Greenberg, Andrew Weissmann, cannot thank you enough.